Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. Now, I don't talk much about politics while I'm doing my playthroughs, because this is not a politics channel. I think a good rule of thumb is, if you're running a channel like this, then people shouldn't be able to tell what your political leanings are from watching your content. You shouldn't try to, preach while you're doing something completely unrelated to politics. And that's a rule that I'm gonna continue to live by, because I think it's a good rule. That said, every once in a while it's fine to make reference to political events, just because every once in a while something happens in the realm of politics that mirrors something that's happening for you in the game that you're playing. And I'm gonna talk about such an event in just a moment. Let me just pull up this BBC article about something that happened early last month. And it's gonna seem like it's unrelated to the game, but I'll explain why it's deeply related to our game in particular. And this is the rebranding of the United States Department of Defense into the Department of War. It's not going to change much. It's just, in some sense, it's just a change of a name. In some deeper sense, I guess you can say it's a change of philosophy, just bringing in some new values, I guess. But whether it's gonna actually change how the United States military functions is something I'm skeptical about. But I want to focus on the rebrand itself, like the name itself. No more defense, and welcome Department of War, because we're going to be having a similar rebrand today. Now, that's right. Today, for the first time since patch 2.0, I think, we're going to have our first proper milestone moment in the series where something's actually gonna get accomplished, something long-running that, once accomplished, is gonna change our playthrough forever. And you will see what that is. I think you're gonna see it from the very first realm. Or maybe not. Maybe not. It might take a while. How are we for our Rune of Prophecies? We are okay for our Rune of Prophecies. It might take... Actually, let me just quickly turn off Firefox, just to make sure we don't have any slowdown. We're gonna jump into some realms, get some realm action going on, because I'm eager to show you the big plans I have for this series. But before I can show you what those plans are, we're gonna have to hit this milestone that I've been alluding to vaguely, but not mentioning by name. And before we can do any of this, we're gonna have to roll a good item bonus. So, assuming the game cooperates. I should probably slow down as well, so that we don't have any mishaps. No botched rolls. I also adjusted the... Ooh, hey, that's a good roll. I also adjusted the screen so it's a little higher up. I think it's gonna be a little bit better for my posture. I think my neck was getting a bit stiff from having to, like, tilt slightly low. But, that is completely unrelated. But I think, good posture is also pretty important, right? Physical health is something you should never neglect, even if you're doing a 500 plus episode playthrough, especially if you're doing a 500 plus episode playthrough. You gotta take care of your posture. Immediately, there's some trash netherstone. There is a trash netherstone that we're gonna have to get rid of, and we will. And we will. All right. Let's keep things moving along. Listen, there's lots of stuff to talk about, but before I talk about anything, I need to get the thing done. I need to get the thing done that I alluded to at the start of the episode. And before that thing gets done... Ooh, treasure from horseshoe battles. Luxury automaton is a duplicate, but... thanks. Thank you all the same. Let me also... Actually, hang on. Let me just pause the episode briefly. There's just something I need to quickly do. Alright, sorry about that. Just needed to refill my water bottle, as you can see. Well, if you've been watching the series, you probably know that I've got a bit of a dry throat issue. I'm not a natural commentator, right? Talking for long periods of time is not... It's not something that comes naturally to me. So... You know, you gotta take care of your dry throat somehow. Now, horseshoe battles are now gonna give us a little bit of a treasure. So we should remember those. We should remember that for when we come across those. Alright. Alright. Where are these horseshoes? I don't think I've seen a single one. There's one. And let's see what sort of treasure we get out of it. Well, nothing great, but you know what? You know what? It's fine. More treasure out of you. More treasure out of you. Ah, okay. It finally happened. Defender 10. I'll explain what's going on as soon as we're done with this realm, as soon as we're back home. But one of the biggest milestones of the entire series has just taken place. Eldritch Grimoire, another duplicate. Alright, we're getting some nice duplicate stats. Like, duplicate cards, which are going to give us stats. Alright, well, there's another one of these. Let's quickly hit you. Shambler Benefactor. Oh, yeah. The amount of loot that we're getting. I'm hoping that once we're done getting the knowledge with all of the new creatures, that then the loot is going to calm down a little bit. Because right now all of the knowledge drops are causing the game to lock up briefly every time we're picking up loot. But you know what? It's okay. We're done with this realm. No enemies. We're done with this exotic realm as well. Annoyingly, that bug is still there. It doesn't take it off the map when you're done. Anyway, let's go home and I'm gonna explain to you what just happened. So, we just got an achievement called Defender 10. That's for defending 10,000, 100,000 times. That is the final achievement in the Defender line of achievements, and now they're all gone. The only battle achievements left are minions, resurrections, and just killing creatures in general. And the Defender achievement, I'll just show you in this list of completed achievements. It's fully done. Now, what does that mean for our series? It means we never, from now until the end of the series, assuming the developer doesn't go insane and be like, oh, you need to defend 1,000,000 times, you need to provoke 1,000,000 times. As long as that doesn't happen, and it shouldn't happen, as long as that doesn't happen, we will never have to defend ever again for the entire rest of the series. We'll never have to defend. The era of defending is over. And this is why I brought up that article about Trump and Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense being rebranded as the Department of War. Because we too are doing a bit of a rebrand. Gone are the days of the Siralim Department of Defense. Specifically, here's how we're going to do it. Gone are the days of the Siralim Department of Defense, here represented by the spell Guardian Force. And what has begun is the glorious era of the Siralim Department of War. Now, what do we mean by Department of War? We mean we're going to replace Guardian Force with another thing that does damage. Not just another thing that does damage, but a thing that does area damage. We're going to construct some custom gems of Star Pact. Do we have any just lying around? We don't. We're going to have to craft 3 of them. We're going to craft 3 Star Pact spells. This is a life spell, so it will need a sorcery transformation. Well, actually, I gotta do 2 more. Now we gotta upgrade all of these. This is a very good area of effect spell, especially if you have ways of gaining buffs, which we do. In most realms, you just gain buffs by interacting with the various objects. And there's some buffs, I think, that we just natively have because of our various things. Now, we have to enchant these by giving them a sorcery transformation. And now we have 2 enchantments that we can put to get some damage out of them. And the 2 things we're going to have to put are, I think it's got to be defense penetration. Here we go. Defense penetration of 24% plus. You can either raise the damage by X%, but I think more important than that is going to be potency based on health. To give us some more health scaling and just hopefully get some insane damage, especially when we factor in a defense penetration. And now I think especially because this is going to be one of the 5 spells that our mimics cast at the start of combat. We should no longer have situations where enemies survive just because stupidly they were like resistant to indirect damage or stupidly they were immune to blight. It's going to give us one more shot at wiping enemies out before anything else happens at all. Where's my defense penetration? Oh, hang on, I think I messed up one of them. I think I messed up this one because I increased its damage and I didn't give it defense penetration. Which is... like, not a bad enchantment to give it, but... we want to think about situations where enemies have boosted defense because of, you know, the Pumpkin King or something like that. And then just multiplying your damage isn't going to help that much. What's going to help is being able to bypass their defense somehow. Which is what we're doing now. Alright, so which one was it? It was this one. Let's give the defense penetration, and let's make sure they all have the correct thing. The defense penetration and potency based on health. And now, finally, this is the official inauguration of the Siralim Department of War. Let's get our new Star Pact. Get our new Star Pact spells ready to go. Excuse me. It is... well, summer is over, so the humidity is gone, the air is dry. Drier. So, there's gonna be a... it's gonna be harder on my throat. But, you know what? That's just something that I'll have to deal with. Where's the final one? There's the final one. Now that change is made, we gotta go in and we gotta see how this is gonna work. Let me just quickly check to see. We are 16 minutes into the episode. Ooh, 4:32. Really nice bonus. Let's see how this works. What are you fused with? Lucanians. Heal every turn. We won't be able to tell exactly how good this is until we get into a realm where enemies are... enemies have some problematic properties. Overgrown Temple is... it's gotta be Genros. But even in non-problematic realms, every once in a while, you know, when you come across a dumb enemy, you'll, I think, be happy that you had an extra spell at the start. Now, we need to get into, like, combat of some kind. Of any kind. I guess the enemies are... the enemies know that, the era of defense is over, and they are staying away from us out of fear. I don't blame them. But at some point, there's the Star Pact. Well, the one thing Star Pact won't be able to do is it won't be able... like, the chance to resist damage. I've talked about this before. It's a dumb thing that should be removed from the game. Even a very powerful offensive spell isn't gonna do anything if the enemies, for no reason, are just being allowed by the game to ignore their incoming damage, which is whatever. Whatever, even in battles like that, having one extra source of damage is gonna help us whittle those really dumb enemies down. It's gonna hopefully help us against protected enemies as well, although those are another, like... I've made my feelings known about protected enemies. And they're still gonna be annoying because they just waste your time, but they'll waste slightly less of our time with this change in place. And same goes for enemies that are just having a chance to resist damage. Let me just check. Was that a leech? Yes, they had a leech digger, so they were immune to blight. Nevertheless, they did die because of Star Pact. We didn't even have to use our macro against them. So, 6. We've got a couple of nether stones to destroy. A couple more pinwheels to take down as well. Pando Shrine has summoned enemies. I honestly don't care. See, another Leech Digger, another enemy wiped out at the start, despite them having a Leech Digger. I guess I should remind people about, you know, various aspects of how my build works from time to time, because it is a fairly complicated build. But the reason these spells are being cast at the start of combat is because I have mimics who will always be at the top of the timeline, and the way, well, I have one extra fusion on all of these mimics is that I have them fused with, I forget which type of wisp it is, but it's the wisp that will cast its first 5 equipped spell gems at the start of its turn, and thanks to our other trait, Ascendancy, it casts them for free. So we can just have this be going on indefinitely. God, man, these protected enemies are just so dumb, dude. Like what is the not even protected enemies, sorry, not protected enemies, the 25% damage avoidance. That is what's dumb. And people are like, oh no, it's just checking to see how many, even if you've got like 7 sources. First of all, if you have 7 sources of damage, or like if you're doing a high number of instances of damage per turn, eventually the game will just stop letting you do actions. So that's not even a viable way to play the game. Second of all, even if you're doing that, these guys will still waste your time, because guess what? It's luck based, and every once in a while there's gonna be a thing where an enemy is gonna, especially with 6 of them, like one of them is gonna resist like 6 times in a row, 7 times in a row. So yeah, like maybe there's a case to be made that you should have a you really want to counter people who aren't doing multiple hits per turn. But this is not the way to do it, because even if you are doing multiple hits, the way enemies that counter specific builds work is that if you have a build that accounts for the thing that's being countered, you should do fine. But the way these enemies work is, even if you have the thing that it's checking for, which is multiple, it's still gonna be annoying because of it being luck based. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Let's not let these guys spoil the mood, because we are in a good mood. Not every realm is gonna be garbage. Most realms are gonna be... Fuck off, are you serious? Oh my god, are you serious, dude? 32%? Oh my... Oh, you see what I mean? Like 4 in a row, 5 in a row. And then eventually the enemies will just become immune to damage, because even 0 damage hits count as a quote-unquote damage. So yeah. Smoking kills, interesting. An interesting name for an item. Yeah, sorry, interesting name for a trait. Deal more damage to creatures that belong to their own class. I mean, that's not a bad thing. Especially if you can do class manipulation via the morph spells. God, this is actually kind of dumb. The fact that we've got 2 realms in a row with the chance to resist damage. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's just keep moving. I'm sorry, like I'm trying to... I am in a good mood, but the problem is when the realm is annoying, it does kind of spoil the mood because you no longer want to get into battles, right? The whole point of this episode was, oh, we're in a new era. We have another way of damaging enemies. We like getting into fights now, but the problem with realms like this is they make it fundamentally unenjoyable to get into fights. Fights being such a big part of this game. You know what? Another thing, I've got the disconcerting realization that I think I'm coming down with something. I think I can feel it. I think I can feel it in my throat. It wasn't just things being dry. I think I can feel it. Oh no. Oh no, I'm catching a cold. Everything's going wrong. You see how well, I was gonna be like, oh, in today's world you can't rely on anything, like, you know, things can change so quickly. Ooh, what is this? I mean, how do you say this? Dark Nonicus? The fuck is that? I mean, like, I don't even know what race you would belong to. But let's see what the hell is Elementasaur. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So let's take a look at our cards for the Elementasaurs. Debuffs have a chance to be removed, which is pretty good, I guess. Chance to receive treasure, that's nice. Oh wait, no. It probably stacks, right? So the 1% probably gets added to the 2%, and then when we get 3%, we'll have like a 6% chance overall of getting treasure. Sorry, like I'm getting really sidetracked. Less indirect damage, that's something we should definitely... I've said it before, we should fast track the completion of the effigy set. The one thing I didn't want you to do was to summon more trash mobs into this round. Yeah, like, look at this. Was there a reason this battle? I've given this speech before, but it never stops being annoying. Was there a reason this battle needed to last one extra turn? And, like, your answer cannot be, oh, you should change your entire build so that you're landing one extra hit. One extra hit that, by the way, might still also have a 32% chance of not doing any damage. Anyway, listen. We gotta complete the realm objective, because I've been neglecting that. The Star Pact is helping. Occasionally it's killing these guys it's a second chance to one-hit kill them if the blight doesn't hit. Alright. Alright. Where's the arbiter? There's the final arbiter. Okay. Hello, Calamir Fop and a crappy Netherstone. Was that a new card? Yes. Okay. Competent Evoker 7. Nice, nice. More progress. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly head home. I'm gonna get rid of a couple of these Netherstones. We'll get rid of the low-level ones in a while. I'll let them pile up a little bit. So 175. 246. 175, 246. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm definitely coming down with something. Ugh. Man, why though? Why though? Uh. Oh. It's okay. I'll get over it. It's just a cold, and finally we are in a realm where enemies aren't being annoying, and it also contains leeches, so our Star Pact is actually gonna be relevant in this realm. I'm pretty sure there are leech enemies that are native to Titan's Wound. We gotta find another boss as well. And so if we ever come across a battle where the Blight didn't do anything, and then you had to see the Star Pact fire off to kill the enemies, that'll be an indication that leeches were involved. But usually, probably, I guess, the Blight is going to be enough. Hemomancer went down pretty quick. I think we need to do one more. Yes, we do. Oh my god, I think Vitality Explosion is a death spell, but let me look this up. Vitality Explosion is a death spell. And now that's done. Let's take out a Kila. Alright, not sure why these guys were so insistent on not dying right away, but we took them down. Another Netherstone. 299 though should be easy for me to remember. It's a memorable number. It's one off from 300. I mean, the number is gonna be easy to remember, but then separately I'm gonna have to remember that I have another stone to destroy in the first place, which oh god. Well, let's see how we do against protected enemies. The Star Pact giving us a second instance of damage, and they're still taking like 3 turns. Like, again, an enemy that maybe you thought there were certain builds that needed checking, like certain build components that needed checking, but it is no matter who you're playing, no matter what build you're playing, those guys are annoying because they waste time. But I don't think there should be any enemy in this game that, even under optimal circumstances, just like wastes your turns without adding anything. Like, what has it added to my life? The fact that those protected enemies took a whole extra turn to kill? Nothing. Nothing. Let's just be blunt about that. They add nothing to anybody's life. And what they add to the game could be accomplished in ways that are less annoying. Right. That is just a fact. That is just undeniable. And here in the Department of War, we will not tolerate anybody dissenting from this position. Anybody who thinks protected enemies are okay, that protected enemies don't need to be removed, well, you're free to remove yourself from this video. And I mean, I can't enforce it, but you should probably just see yourself out, because you, my friend, if you truly think there's nothing wrong with protected elites, you are not welcome here. Anyway, before I forget, let me just do this. 299. Let's move on. I'm gonna slow down, make sure I don't recklessly roll past something good. Yeah, I'm definitely, I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I've got a cold. 400. Nice round number. Alright. 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 Let's keep things going. What do we got in this round? Decent round. Oh yeah, and in rounds where you have no additional casts, like this round. In rounds like this, it's going to be very useful to have like one extra guaranteed source of damage. Alright, we gotta find some drugs for these people. Do we have to find a dumpling? We do, alright. Dude, the mushroom was literally right outside his house. Man, how lazy are you? It was literally outside. You could see it from your window, dude. Come on. We found that duplicate Apis Guardian card. Nice. Gives us a tiny bit extra life. All right. Let's take out this. Well, before we take out this dumpling, let's take out these guys. Now let's take out this dumpling. And I think we're done with this round. I think we're done with this round. So let us mosey along. Actually, have we completed the mini quest? Did we find the third house? Oh, we're gonna get a bit of favor with Torin. 2,500, and that all. Not quite enough to gain us another level, but pretty nice. Um. Huh. Huh. I guess I'll quickly check. I kind of miss the old way of the way the old maps worked, where it showed you these silhouettes of the unexplored rooms. Messy. We were missing one of them. That gives us favor, but it doesn't give us treasure. But I guess favor on its own, it's pretty good as well. And now we are gonna get that favor rank that we wanted. Or are we? Is there anything left in here that... No, there's nothing left in here that gives favor, unless there's something in this section of the map, which it doesn't look like there is. Where's the exit? There's the exit. If you were like a nemesis creature, I would have thought about maybe fighting you, but you're not, so I won't. There's no need to go back home. All we have is like one key forge to hand in. We can wait on that. 355 is gonna be good. Now against false gods, because of their very large health pool, I don't think Star Pact is gonna help very much. And we're gonna make him immune to spell damage anyway. But against false gods, we're gonna have to do things the old-fashioned way. Now we're done finding buried treasure. I guess I'll start doing some optional combats again. Now that we have more offense. And are better equipped to take enemies down quickly, even if they have like 1 or 2 instances of damage avoidance. Alright, let's let's go off to the side. Let's take out you. 7 debuffs? Sure. I'll avoid the clocks. I don't think the clocks are worth it. They don't give you that much favor, if I remember correctly. Plus, you have to talk to them and get the dialogue option in order for it to put you into the combat that then gives you the favor. I would much rather avoid this. Actually, hang on a second. Can Star Pact kill the treasure golem? Let's figure that out. It still takes quite a few hits. I never expected such a friendly and charitable creature to be brought down so abruptly and with such unnecessary cruelty. Disgusting, so sickening. Well, whatever, dude. I did it for science. I needed to know. I'm still gonna avoid treasure golems if I can help it, because it's still... Like, anything that slows the game down, I'm inclined to avoid. But if we get thrown into a treasure golem fight against our will, which is gonna happen from time to time because of the way that treasure golems work now, then at least we know it's gonna be a good time. Right, let's just do some more tackling roots and wormhole onto you. Excuse me. We stopped it. There we go. Like, we gave him the damage avoidance, so I guess I can't be that upset. And then he also had a resurrection, which was pretty annoying. Sure, let's take Angry Orchard. Keeping treasure gives us... any second now. 7,000 reputation, so no special items, but we're getting some pretty good guild rep. Who are you? The Effigy Master. We are looking for some effigy cards. And now we've gotten the effigy costume. The Master of Effigy costume. Anything left in this realm? I don't think so. So let's just move on. Well, let's head home first. We won't worry about the projects. We'll take a look at... So we need to finish the training mission. I guess I did need a hand in the Keyforge mission. Right, another prophecy line completed. We'll wait until the training mission is done, and then the life creatures will also be killed. And I don't think we're gonna find the Nether portal in time. I think we're just gonna do Jotun again. We need to start chipping away at the Jotun anointments. And then, if we have exhausted all of his anointments, then we just never need to fight him again. But we'll go after Jotun. Now Jotun is actually going to become slightly more annoying to fight with this build, because the Star Pact is one extra spell that's going to be cast at the start of each Mimic's turn. That was a quick round. Alright, boys. Let's go in here. Oh hey, giant Pando Shrine! Useless! Useless! You could have given us... Oh, a Thoughts and Prayers 10! Is that our 1000th? Wait. Is that our 1000th Nether Realm? Oh no, that's for 50 million piety. That's still pretty good. I didn't realize we were that close. That's another achievement done. That's one of those achievements that you get just for playing the game a lot. Nothing special that you need to do. Man, I remember when I first, like, the first time you unlock piety and, like, the reliquary, and when it's all new, and, like, when just getting, like, 200,000 piety and leveling some relic up to level 10 felt like such a big thing, and now we've just casually reached the 50 million piety milestone. How much piety do we have, actually? We've got we've got a cool 27 million piety just sitting in the bank, which means about 23 million of that is gonna be piety that we, or like in addition to that, 23 million is what we've spent. We've got another 27 million to spend on whatever we want, really. I'm inclined to just sit on this piety because this game is gonna have more updates. There's at a minimum, I think 2.1 has been confirmed, although I don't know if work on it has started yet. I think it might be a while before that happens. But part of me suspects that something new to buy with piety is gonna be added, and when that happens, I'm gonna look like a genius for not spending my piety. You guys will see. Right now you're like, oh, this guy, he's so suboptimal, all of this piety, and he hasn't spent it. He could get stats out of it. Now that's true, I could, but if something new gets added, and if it works the same way, ooh, nice. Nice. But yes, if something new gets added, and if it works the same way that the others do, that is, you know, when you start leveling up, initially it doesn't cost a lot, and then you can put more and more, like it costs more and more the more levels you get into it. Like the first 100 levels are good. Or like per piety spent, like dropping a small amount of piety on that is gonna get you a lot of value on that, versus we could drop all of our piety on just gaining more stats and, you know, get just a for sure appreciated, like we would appreciate the stat bonuses from dumping all our piety into the thing that gives us more stats. But I still think holding out is going to be the better option. You guys, you wait and see. One of these days, a new piety, like, you know, there's money sinks, gold sinks, a new piety sink is going to get added, and when that day comes, I will have the last laugh. Alright, let's take out you. Man, I'm actually... The first couple rounds were annoying, but now I'm actually in a pretty good mood. I'm in the swing of things. We're getting achievements done. We've got a... Now this kind of sucks, but I think we should be immune to silenced. I guess we'll find out. We are immune to silenced. Perfect. Again, thank you. I mentioned it in the description of the video. The name of the person who gave me the suggestion. And I'm not sure if I mentioned their name in the video. But what I'll do is I'll see if I can find that comment. But the person who let me know that there was a way to make yourself immune to silenced via traits, and you didn't have to spend an anointment slot on it. Hang on, what did we just unlock? So Arimaki, what did we just unlock? Tarot card collection is more rewarding. I guess we'll find out what that means. Well, some of the rewards are just useless. Like, a tiny amount of resources isn't going to get you very far. Alright, boys. The trait is called Yowl. Let's just look that up in a moment. Easy. Stone. The trait is called Yowl. The creature can equip spell jumps from any class. I mean, I feel like we've already got that figured out. Okay. So, given that we're about to hand in the training mission, if we haven't killed the life creatures by the end of this, realm, we'll summon one group right now. But the trait is called a Zerda. I was gonna say, surely there's gonna be like one more life creature somewhere in this realm. First 3 permanent healing spell gems have a 20% chance to be cast automatically at the start of battle. That doesn't seem that strong. Oh, you're a life creature, aren't you? No, you're a nature creature. You're a nature creature. You guys should be life creatures? No, you're not. Underdweller Rights Master. Is that a new card? It sure as heck is. Alright. Cataclysm, I doubt whether you guys are life creatures. And I think there's an angel in their party, so that's gonna... Yep, that's gonna complete our life creatures objective. Then we'll finish the training missions, and then we won't worry about the raid missions. We won't worry about the Nether Realms, although that would have been nice to have. We'll just start on our next Rune of Prophecies. I think we're done with this round. There's a chest, I think, that we haven't opened. So let's head home. We'll start the new... Excuse me? We need to find one more book to get a bit of treasure. We'll find the next... we'll start the next Rune of Prophecies. We'll find this book. Well, I guess we've got to find this book first. Pilgrimage to hand in as well. Where's... Man, what? I don't get it. Where is it? Is there... Well, there's this place that we haven't been. Furious Space Cat. Is that new? Finding lots of cards, which I'm very happy about. That is new. Alright. Pretty happy with our card... Oh, there's the book. I was gonna say, pretty happy with our card finding luck in this episode. Or since 2.0, really. Like, just... We've consistently found several new cards per episode. So first thing we gotta do is do this. Unfortunately, the pilgrimage went first. Would have loved to hand in the training mission first. But that's okay. Would have been nice to have this. We would have gotten 2 more lines out of that. But who knows when the next Netherrealm is going to show up. So only 8 lines, that's pretty bad. But it's okay, I guess. What's this Rune of Prophecies asking us to do? That's fine. that's fine. That's annoying. But I'll keep it. I'll keep it. So we've got to do Siralim. Hang on a second. Oh, I haven't been making progress. Shit. I haven't been making goblet progress because... Hang on. I need to get this to be on the evoker. That was a bit of a bad misplay, but we'll get this finished. It's not going to cost us any progress with the Rune of Prophecies because we'll get it done way before, for example, way before we have a chance to kill the ancestor, right? Anyway, now I've been thrown off. Let's do the gambling. We gotta do Siralim, Kino, and that's it. And then we gotta do our candles again. Alright, so Siralim is the slowest. Let's do it first. Oh, don't give me more... Okay, well, it finally ended. Alright. Okay, what else? Yeah, I guess let's just move in to the next round. And see how we do. Alright. $395 is going to be a good bonus. Alright. And if I'd known that we were going to get a nether realm, I would have waited one more realm to hand in the Rune of Prophecies, because we could have gotten 2 more lines. But I didn't. I cannot predict the future. I am but a mere fallible mortal. Right, let's take a look at what sort of creatures we need to kill. A lot of sorcery. And then a nature and chaos. A lot of sorcery and then nature and chaos. So let's try and get it done in this round. So a lot of sorcery. So let's go for spell jugglers. And then we need nature and chaos. So nature, I guess we'll just do some egg exotic. And then we'll do some chaos as well. And yeah, well, we'll just generally have a nice time with that. All right. All right, the lady one is good, and we'll do some chaos. So what? I don't know if chaos creatures have cards now. Sorry, not chaos, exotic creatures. But if they do, we'll find them eventually, I guess. Anyway. Anyway, this should be enough to summon another group. What was I trying to summon? I was trying to get Marionette? Alright. And then, maybe to cap it off, we'll summon a few more sorcery creatures, just because we do need to kill a lot of them. Alright, boys, let's get this done. Alright, that's gonna be something to destroy. 273. And let's carry on. Ooh, we can hand in our assassination, but should we? I think... am I even doing forage? I'm not even running all of my projects. Ooh, Terror Cataclysm. And that's a new card. A chance for ultimate spell gems to not consume... yeah, I'm not gonna bother handing in any projects. And I know... well... you know what? I'll do it like this. I'll hand in this because I do want to continue assassinating all the god spawns, right? Because it would just make me feel a lot better knowing that we have at least one of every single one of their properties. Oh, one of their trade materials, rather. So I think we should, but then we won't hand in any more things for the rest of this Rune of Prophecies. Alright. I think that sounds pretty good. Alright. Are we almost? Oh yeah, okay, we're done with that. Okay. All right. That was annoying. Not sure why those guys didn't immediately die, but whatever. I'm over it. And there's another chest here. Let me just yoink that. All right. Okay. Ooh, one of you guys. Do I need to answer? I do need to answer your questions. Do I need to find treasure? I do need to find treasure. It's gotta be life, right? Okay. Alright, boys. I think we're done with this realm. We will head home, we'll start some new projects. Alright. Alright. Okay. Now, let me just see how this fight goes. Does the Star Pact help? Not really. Their mimics are still always scripted to always go ahead of our mimics, which is just dumb. So those fights are, unfortunately, still pretty annoying. Alright. We're done with... We're almost done with the God spawns. There's there's a lot of them left, but pretty soon we'll have one trait material for all of them. I guess I'll start a forage. I should start a pilgrimage. Anybody 78 or lower? Running all our projects. Good. I'm just gonna check to make sure that I'm making this progress. Yep, 15% is nice. And let's carry on. $353 is gonna be good. And I like this realm. I always find... Well, this is a good realm for loot. There's lots of good loot to be found, but I also really love the aesthetics of this realm. Just like the background and also like the objects. Like, it's a really good ensemble. Everything just like works really nicely. Even the weather effects. It's not really weather, I think it's like more of a smoke effect. When I first saw the smoke effect, I had no idea what was happening. I thought like the lighting on my graphics card was glitching out or something. Like some lighting effect was glitching out. But no, it's it's one of the new realm-specific graphical effects. Spell Juggler Bedazzler, are you new? Yes, you are? Yeah, so this is always a realm where whenever I enter it, I feel like I've got a good chance of finding a card. Alright, see, so for some reason they survived, but then the Star Pact killed them. So that's gonna be a... Omnipotent Deity? I don't know, man. Sorcery, possibly, or life. Omnipotent Deity. Life class, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Alright, so how many more Riddle Dwarf questions? 2 more. Okay. That might be our master. The Underdweller Master is going to be our 10th victory against you. Sorry, our 8th victory against you. We'll get an achievement for that as well. Alright, gotta find. Gotta find all the loot. Easy does it. Easy, easy. All right. All right. What do we got going on here? This is going to be our final realm object to interact with for this realm quest. We're getting into some combat for that as well. Sure, fine, I guess. We'll hang on to the rest of our projects. Because there's no need. We're not going to make any Rune of Prophecies progress for any of the projects we're running right now, so we'll just hold on to all of them for the remainder of this Rune of Prophecies. Alright. New realm. Sounds good to me. 375. Sounds good to me. Gotta find resource nodes. Shouldn't be a problem. And there's one already. There's two already. Also, there's gonna be a good chance of spawning a treasure golem in this realm, which is a mixed blessing. Again, with the fucking chance. The chance to resist damage, I think, is gonna be the bane of my existence for this entire series. It is just some nonsense. Alright. Right? I was like... At first I was like, there's no need to get into that combat, it was pointless. And it was pointless. But we got a duplicate card out of it. So... I guess... I'll accept it. No. Mainly, I just want to be done with this realm, because it... I don't like the fact that enemies are avoiding my damage for no good reason. Like, was there a reason this battle needed to last one more turn? We gotta find a master. And then... I think we're mostly just done. Alright. Lots of treasure chests. But not a lot of treasure. There's our master. Okay, let's just get this done. And then... we can move on to the next realm. Okay. Man, come on. And these guys are gonna be super annoying as well, with like champion enemies. Any battle where for no reason the game just like, oh no, I'm not gonna let you win on this turn. That's a bit of a bummer every time it happens. Anyway, no treasure golem spawns. That's fine. We weren't really interested in fighting them anyway. The Star Pact is really helping, and some of these battles earlier than they otherwise would. Some of them are still lasting longer, but overall I think it's been a huge boon. Walking all the way here just to grab that one thing was a bit of a waste, but I felt like doing it. And finally, we're about to fight Jotun, and since it is gonna be Jotun, I've got to remember that the way you fight Jotun is the runes that you give Jotun. You gotta think carefully about what you're gonna give him. So you can give him anything that's defensive. Like this. Against any other boss, you just never take it. Against Jotun, it just doesn't do anything. The two made one. Interesting name. Let's see if it does anything interesting. Barriers don't care. Don't care. Okay. Immune to indirect damage. Against any other boss, we would never take it. Against Jotun, it doesn't matter. Because we're not damaging him anyway. Mirelink Dart Frog. Feels like it's got to be a new card, and indeed it is. Deal more damage for each unique class among your creatures. We're not going to get that much value out of that. But I guess it's a little bit of extra damage. And if it applies multiplicatively, then it's get a little bit more damage out of it when we cast Star Pact. I don't think. No, this is dangerous, but I'll do it. I don't think it applies to blight damage. Oof. Now before I go in, I'm gonna collect all of these trees. Snare is great. That might have just won us the battle. No need to rush this. No need to rush this. Right, let's just go through the entire realm, pick up all of our buffs, debuff him as much as we can, and then hopefully the snare is going to be enough. He's blinded as well. We're gaining some stats. I'm not sure how much the stats you gain in this realm help, but it's gonna be well, we'll just have to make do. Oh yeah, and we still have to fight the master as well. Alright. Elementasaur Master will give us another achievement. Another trait. What does this one do? I think it's the exact rarity as the previous one. Bad Dreams, 50% chance to start battles sleeping for the enemy. Doesn't seem that exciting to me. There's a little bit more in this realm, but I'm just gonna go in. Useless, but whatever. Easy does it. You gotta provoke. You cannot provoke. You cannot. I guess you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to literally skip your turn then, because nothing. You can't do anything. We need to do Greater Dispel, and now we should be fine. Let's just do Archangel's Blessing just to make sure we don't die. Yeah, the Star Pact is gonna slow us down a little bit. But it's gonna be another kill against Jotun. And we'll pick up another Jotun anointment. And then I can finally have breakfast. Well, it's past noon at this point, but it's one of those days where I don't have to get to work until pretty late. So I've got another couple hours, and in those couple hours, I think I'm gonna have some nice waffles and a cup of coffee. I don't know how much I want to really pay attention to all of these. I feel like in the long run, if we're gonna pick up every single anointment anyway, there's no reason to not just start taking them randomly at this point. Okay, how much loot are you trying to give us, game? With the I was gonna say, with the time you're taking, you better give us something nice, but this is the only notable item that dropped from that loot. 8,000 reputation, on the other hand, is pretty damn good. And more stuff. More stat boosts. And I think we're ready to just end this video, but let's just make sure we're not leaving anything behind, and let's go. Well, there's one more of these, and now let's head home. And let us reflect on what was accomplished this episode. One very, very important milestone was finally hit. Where is it? Thoughts and Prayers, Master. I guess we got quite a few achievements after that, but Defender 10. Defend 100,000 times. We never have to defend ever again. We never have to cast Guardian Force ever again for the rest of the series. It was very important to get that done, because otherwise you will never get to 100,000 defends if you're only defending occasionally. It's just never gonna happen. This is the only way to get that achievement. Either that, or you'll get it after playing the game for 4.5 decades. Which I may very well even end up doing, but I don't. The sooner we can move on and not have one of our spell slots taken up by something useless, the better. So that was the highlight of this episode. We also found, well, we also got a bunch of other Thoughts and Prayers 10. That's another nice milestone. And then we got achievements for killing a bunch of masters and for completing realms with the Evoker. Other than that, we also found a good amount of cards. We are past 1100. We're at 1104 actually from our card collection. We're also finding duplicate cards at a pretty good rate, so we're past, or we're at or past 200 with every single when the number on the left, I think, is the number of unique cards, and the number in parentheses is the number of duplicates. So we're you know, pretty. For some reason, we've got way more nature cards than anything else, and nature and sorcery. Probably because there were way more nature and sorcery creatures in the old game. So that would explain it. Yeah, so we found some cards as well. We gotta set a bounty against the Ancestor, right? So we'll do that. And we'll start wrapping up, I guess. I felt pretty good about this episode. It was nice. It flowed well. There were annoying enemies as well, and the irony is the more, if you might wonder why I'm so irritated by protected elites, by champion elites, by the 32% realm property thing. You might be thinking, you just made your build so much more efficient with an extra source of damage. Shouldn't the game feel, you know, less frustrating to you? And in many ways, the answer is yes, but the irony is this, is that the stronger your build gets, the more efficient your build gets, the more you get, the more frustrating the minor annoyances get. Like when you start off in the game and you don't have your build together, and every single enemy it takes you 30-40 seconds to kill, then it doesn't really matter that the champion elite made you take one extra turn, right? It doesn't matter really that the enemies resisted one of your hits. It doesn't really matter that the protected elites took 5 hits. But when you're in my position, it really does matter. It literally doubles or triples the time you spent in that combat. So, as much as we made a huge stride in this episode, streamlining our build, my worry is that what's going to happen is it's going to make the little annoying enemies even more annoying. And maybe in a roundabout way, make me feel worse. But you know what? That's going to be something we'll figure out as we go. I'm still hopeful that some of these guys are going to get patched out of the game. But let's not let them spoil our celebration. We got a huge milestone done. Our party is now considerably stronger, and we are feeling pretty good. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you'll join me Thursday for the next installation of Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. And until then, take care.